Hello Internet, I'm MsBitters, and this is my gaming channel with another episode of Some Distant Memory. Quick warning, if this is the first time you've come across the series, please just go back to the beginning and start watching because there's a lot of story going on in this game and you might be super lost at this point if you don't start from the beginning. It's worth it, I promise. For those of you returning, welcome back. Have you considered, how you want this game to end? I haven't, because I just finished recording the last episode like 10 seconds ago. I believe that it is time to see if we can get the cat back out of the way. I have the remote. Let's activate the cat vac and see what happens. Be ready to move, Professor. That wall looks unstable enough as it is. Right, the last thing I want is to take Cat Vac's place in the rubble. Here it goes. Oh, it's so cute! Kitty, no, come back. Well, I don't know about Cat Vac, but I'm alright. Poor Cat Vac, it bravely went where we cannot follow. 10 feet across the room. No, robot heaven. I'm sure I can revive him back at Ares. Aurora, please flag Cat Vac for the salvage team. I'll see you soon, tiny buddy. Now then, it looks like I can access a new room. Let's see what it holds. Oh, is this like the art studio or something? There's a lot of things in here. InfiniHome Smart Home Management System, organizing your home the smart way. What would you like to catalog? Begin catalog process by naming items, adding your mother's old notebooks to room catalog. Yeah, she didn't have room to take them to LA. She was younger than us when she wrote in those. Spring Blossoms. Oh, it's a poem about the pond. She spent a lot of time outside, according to my grandma, daydreaming and climbing trees. So that must be her ivy carving on the dock? Adding the tiny dock out back to room catalog. Command. What carving? You grew up here and you've never noticed her carving? It's beautiful. I'll show you. I guess your mom and I like hanging out in the same spots. Creepy. InfiniHome Smart Home Management System, adding old basement junk to room catalog. My grandmother worried the dust would be bad for my lungs, so it was off limits until I was older. Did that bother you, having a place in your own house you weren't allowed to go? A little, but they meant well. When I was really young, they told me a curse had sealed it for 10 years. By the time I was a teenager, I understood why. Adding old appliances in this box to room catalog. Oh, this would have been precious treasure for little Rick. All this cool old stuff. Whatever Grandpa couldn't fit in the garage, he'd put down in the basement for later. There might still be some of my grandmother's boxes, too. That's exciting. She seems like such a fascinating person. Let's see if we can find them. InfiniHome Smart Connect our ordering system. Congratulations! Your order has been placed. Confirmation A088807230498. Book. Joyful Organization. Item number 15333. 5 to 8 days shipping to home address. Cost $38.20. Wow, words. Book. Make your room your own. Item number 62449. 5 to 8 days shipping to home address. Cost $22.47. Book. The First Kiss. And Then What? Item number 477710. 5 to 8 days shipping to home address. Cost $16.99. There's already a disc inside. I think it's playing. Then why isn't there any picture? The display must be broken. Aurora, are you able to tell what's going on? I cannot project the film, but I can relay the subtitle data. Subtitles, like the words that are being said? Show that. Devices which intercept the flow of consciousness. We call it sleepjacking, the ability to enter another person's dream. How do I know you're on the level? Because right now we're in your dream. Wakes up. Welcome to reality. See, in a dream, only the dreamers think they're awake. You don't have to tell me that, don't I? No, because you're right. We're in your dream, Cod. A dream within a dream? Loud music. Not quite the same when you can't see it. Flag this disc player for the salvage team Aurora. We'll try to watch them later. These aren't books, but they have titles. They must be films. How educational. Under Forgiven? Jangle Most of the Way? Yep, sounds like movies to me. I minored in pre-collapse film. I wasn't aware Noah had a degree program. Perms of Endearment? More like an apprenticeship. Moaning Lisa held a spot for me every Tuesday growing up. Ew. She would turn the volume way up to account for her moaning. Bad back. Yeah, that's what it was. Aurora, please flag these for the salvage team. These will teach us a great deal about pre-collapse entertainment. Confidential. Rick's poetry. Do not read without permission. What to call my first collection, possible titles. Moments from the Soul. Understanding Rick, Tales of Deep Thought. Poles of Introspection by Rick Barron, a poet. Crying and Smiling, Cosmic Truths. Terrible Comforts from an Unknown Market. Drifting Through Rick Space. Life of Barron. Did I go too far? Say something I shouldn't have? Am I coming on too strong? Eating salad, I stop. Did the lettuce scream, or the sound of my lips? Like taking a shower, I twist the knob more than I meant to, I freeze. Did I just burn myself? Is my towel just an illusion? Is there a human connection there? It's hard to see when your eyes are wet. Lisa's poetry is not as bad as his mother's. It's still bad, but not as bad. Echoes in an empty house, footsteps when nobody's here. I'm not here. A luxury of space, my own personal orbit. My helmet on, I struggle for air. The earth is more vast than science knows. A galaxy in my heart. Down on the floor, visiting the dust bunnies. Swimming with alien life forms. Floorboards creak. You can't breathe wood. Eating. Chew, chew, chew. Did you eat something too? Ew. You can't eat loneliness by yourself. Strength. Confidence. I can't remember a memory that I never even had. When you look at me, it fills me. Like our day at the hill. We've got to come back here sometime. I never will. Another remote control. I think I recognize this one. Oh, is it for the garage door? It's a clicker for garage doors. Great. I'll get to the garage and see if it works. Whoop whoop. Loading memory card contents. Mira, I'm self-taught. Rick. Oh, no university? It's cool you taught yourself well enough to hold a job. Mira. Yeah, well, it's kind of become my whole world. It doesn't really feel like work. Mira. I spend so much time doing it that sometimes I need to remind myself to eat. Mira. Oh, so you live in a house? Mira. What? That's like a mansion. Mira. Well, as someone who shared a bunk bed with her sister until she was 15, 8 dozen rooms does not seem normal. Mira. Though, I guess it must feel empty with no one else there. Rick. Sometimes it does. It was nice to have company. Design Notes version 1. In Echoes and Embers, I've built out the house like a haunted castle. The player explores room by room, and my ghosts float in, telling stories about each room. The player finally wins by freeing the ghost from the house. As I've been building it out, there's a lot of rooms. I never realized how ridiculous this house was. Maybe Mira is right. It's a place too big for one ghost. I've been pretending the main character is Mira. I wonder how she'd feel about that. I'll get her to playtest when she comes over tomorrow. It sounds like the game I'm playing right now. So the house felt empty even before the collapse. This house also feels so alive, though. It's just all below the surface. A few dozen meters below the surface, at least. Haha, very humorous, Commander. This is my best material. Commander, may I pose a question? Of course, Aurora. I'm usually the one asking you things. Do you find humor to be romantic? Oh, well... I tend to go for pork-fisted jokes, you may notice. Not exactly romantic. You don't say. Ahem, but like poetry, there can be undertones and little suggestions hidden in humor. Jokes with suggestive punchlines. They can be innocent, but usually it means the joke teller is flirting. And remember, bad humor can kill even the friendliest of relationships. It's a delicate art. I've been the victim of many horrible jokes. Not mine, I hope. As a matter of fact, no. Your humor is almost refreshing compared to Aries' science puns. Almost refreshing. I'll take that as a compliment. Did that help, Aurora? Yes, I have now learned about humor. Thank you. No. Hey. There's a bathroom over here. I see a toilet. Consent. A Quiet Place poems by Emmy. You ask for a kiss, but I've had worse things stolen from me. Since you ask, let's trade. I'll give you one kiss. You give me a twine-bound pound of flesh? Fair? No? Okay. How about $1? Does that put the market value of my kisses in question? Fine, take it. I give you one kiss, tax-free, non-transferable, just one. The first is free. I don't really get the message here, but I like the playfulness. It's a strange one. I used to think it was about how people treat romance like bartering. Now, I think it's more about boundaries. No. Did the professor force himself on Emmy and Rick is the product of, unfortunate events? Is that why she wants nothing to do with him? So cryptic. I see how poetry influenced your colony. There are endless ways to interpret it. I admit, sometimes I wonder where the stories end and truth begins. That's partly why I was eager to help find the sunken city. That plus, sometimes I feel like Noah's unofficial ambassador. The Aries Council certainly speaks highly of you. You realize it's been 3 years since Aries came to Noah's rescue? And, well, not everyone survived the famine. Commander, you don't have to talk about this. Well, I attended the replanting of Jackson Square just before our mission. And away from where people had gathered, I saw something straight out of a poem. Tiny grass sprouts poking up through the soil. All on their own, I couldn't believe it. They weren't part of the replanting. Their roots had somehow survived underneath the blight. The smallest sprout shows there is really no death, and if ever there was, it led forward life, and does not wait at the end to arrest it, and ceased the moment life appeared. You know, I think you've changed my mind about poetry. But you didn't change mine. Really? How'd I do that? You show me there's truth in it. It just takes time to see it properly. Is that everything? Oh, there's something behind the shelf over here. Go around the stool, you can do it. I can also get into the bathroom. Adore. Oh no, bathroom reading material. Earthbound Magazine, May. The Ocean Breathes by Frank Collins. Oh. Uh-oh. It doesn't look good. Toxic algae growth has been exponentially increasing each year across the Gulf of Mexico. The algae, which appears as a red carpet inches below the water's surface, is producing a frightening amount of unbreathable gas. Its primary food source? Oil from the 2010 spill. Years later, the aftermath of the spill continued, making entire regions deadly for aquatic animal and plant life. This new algae strain is thriving in those dead zones. According to EPA Director Dr. Gary Lloyd, the algae quickly adapted to its environment, and we're seeing new mutations on a regular basis. Scary. That picture looks like the bloom. Can't be. The bloom came after the collapse. It must have come first. The algae was making the air unbreathable. Imagine that air blowing in off the sea, suffocating whole towns and cities. I don't want to imagine that. Let's ask Aurora. My records begin 20 years after the collapse. Do any of those records mention the collapse? They are incomplete and inconclusive. You can rebuild memories of people 300 years dead, but you can't rebuild what killed everyone? Sorry, there's insufficient data. Likely story. Oh, I didn't open the vault yet. Well, it's open. I forgot to examine it. Tell you what, I've been talking for like 3 or 4 hours straight. I think my throat's going a little raw. Dear Rick, you've convinced me. I'll try my hand at written letters. Let's see what the fuss is about. I've added a drop of lavender perfume. I only wear this stuff for fancy occasions, so I guess if we ever go to something special, the smell will take you back to the moment you open this letter. Very romantic, right? Sincerely, Mira. Hey Rick, I had a great time at your place. Dinner was delicious. I've got to admit, seeing the entire house was strange. It's so full and empty at the same time. The family relics, the art, it's hard to imagine growing up there. Thanks again for letting me borrow your mom's poem. Like I said, I feel weirdly inspired by it. Maybe that will help me keep this week's giant milestone. Sorry if you don't hear from me, my head will be buried in code. Mira. P.S. You do have good taste in music after all. Dear Rick, there was a moment last weekend at the river watching fireworks. You had this look on your face like you were completely content, not a care in the world. The whole time I looked at you, I shared that same feeling. Like I was exactly where I was supposed to be, and that nothing could ever go wrong. Being with you was wonderful. I love you, Rick, and I'm glad the universe and the power of computer science threw us together against all the odds. Yours, Mira. Rick must have saved these letters. No wonder most of them are from Mira. They must have been very special to him. Rick and Mira's relationship makes me think about what Ares has sacrificed. Assigned mates in a compound dedicated to science to ensure survival. Romance is typically superfluous? Superfluous? Wow, I can't say that word. Superfluous for us. Don't judge me. Love can bring so much joy to life. Superfluous. No, that's still not how I say it. It's part of what makes us human. But hasn't that joy been met with equal disaster at Noah? I guess that's our sacrifice. Less regulation, more risk. Life is a struggle. Come on, there's nobody back at Ares you've been meaning to smooch. You should go for it. Let your love reign free for a change. No, not really. Really? No. I've always been pretty solitary. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. I have friends. Only a couple, to be honest. But you can love your friends, too. When I see the kind of love Mira and Rick had, it gives me hope. I want humanity to have that freedom again, not just less rules. Freedom from worrying about bloom and survival. The freedom to love without consequence. That thought brings me joy. I'm not sure what to say. It's a good thing to be hopeful for. I'm glad we're on this mission together, Professor. Me too, Ty. Are they gonna fall in love? Ooh. Oh no. It was his life progression. System warning. Archaeograph logic error. Unknown anomaly in situation. Please advise, Professor. It's Rykon Baron at different stages of his life. Aurora must be having trouble determining the order of events. If this was his room, he would have spent a lot of time in here. Try to categorize different stages of his life, Aurora. People change as they grow. He's an important part of the sunken city. I want to see him as he really was. The princess was my favorite. I love her. Do you like that she got to marry the prince? Yeah, I like she was so happy. It was a good end. Do you want to get married one day too, like the princess? Of course. So, what do you think? Who is this? What? I think I have to go. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. See you at school tomorrow? I'm really busy. Is this like a failed first crush or like an awkward virginity story? Rar, Sir Riken, Slayer of Mighty Krakens, and Rider of Dragons. Yes, lovely. Sir Riken the Unstoppable. I can't. Sir, what is your emergency? Are you still there? Yes, help. Inhaler out. Did you say you need help? Please speak louder if you're able. Please. Stay calm, we're sending someone now. Please, I'm the best artist ever. I'll show my finest artwork to people. Will you have adoring fans? Yep, lots of them. No, damn it. That's not... Why is it mixing together? What? Stupid. Is it just you all by yourself? Nope. You'll be there too, Mom. Goodbye, Rick. Fine. Just go then. And Grandma, and Grandpa too. And I'll have so many friends. Oh, it's so sad. They'll call me up to come over and play. Hey Matt, it's Rick. Sorry it's been so long, man. How have you... Oh, I guess this is the wrong number. Sorry to bother you. I'll create entire worlds with heroes and a queen. And big skeletons. Oh, skeletons, huh? And now the warlock takes center stage. Our main antagonist, ruthless and uncompromising. Our hero must first traverse the swamplands. That sounds wonderful, Rick, sweetie. So then, how will it end? So, how will it end? I'm not sure yet. I'm still writing the big dance scene. Oh, drawing from your romantic teenage years, are we? Are you kidding? I was way too awkward for those. I managed to land one serious relationship in high school. Tell me. She came over once. I took her to the game room. We played around. Oh. Scandalous. A round or two of Supreme Fighter, I mean. Oh, it's terrible. My parents never let me hang around boys. I always had to sneak away. To somewhere hidden. You know. This room is a lot nicer with the lights off. Ew. Hey, Mira, I really wanted to tell you something. Yes? Well, it's just that. You're the most beautiful person I've ever met, Rick. But I was about to say the same thing. Oh, I know. I saw it coming a mile away. You did. Haha, you do have a thing or two to learn about women. I really mean it, though. You're beautiful. This is getting gross. It's been hard to not think about you lately. I wake up thinking about you. Mira, what are you doing? What you think I'm doing? Ew. Aurora, can you reactivate the projection? We can't see what's happening. Professor, the subjects are not rendered. Memory complete. Memory complete? Why weren't they rendered? Another issue with the archaeograph? Yes. No. The wardrobe data is not present. They were naked. What's she saying, Professor? I'm not exact. Oh. Yes, that's, fine, Aurora. Please archive the memory. But, shall we move on? Yes, moving on. Aww. Well, that gross little tidbit's a good ending to this episode, I suppose. I think at this point all I really have left... Did I miss something? No, I don't know why this thing is highlighted here in the corner. I don't think I missed anything. I don't think there's anything hidden behind it. It might just be the way that the map is. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Anyway, I think all I have left is to go open the garage door, and I have a feeling that's going to be pretty close to the end of the game, if this is actually the end. I don't know how much gameplay is here, but the garage is the link to go back upstairs. Oh, where I still have other rooms to explore. Maybe it's not the end of the game. I have another floor of data to explore, but I think the end goal is to get out that security door so that I can leave the house. Maybe this isn't the end of the story yet. Yay! I want there to be an infinite amount of story for this game. I don't know why. I just do. Okay? Bye!